left-hand side, our French Zerg player, I think our only second French Zerg player in the entire tournament. Pardon me, third French Zerg player in the tournament. It is
Stefano, yeah.
Garitos.
Wow, France has loads of Zergs. Denver, Garitos, Stefano. They have loads of Protoss.
I mean, tons of Frenchies in this group overall. But yeah, the French Zerg players are really making a comeback. It's nice to see. Now, Grant, I got a question for you. HellraiseR, you said the king of where?
Okay, so if I say Kiev, which is the, I believe the capital of Ukraine? Or...
Yes.
Yes. But in the Ukraine, I mean, of course, it's a point of contention between Russia and Ukraine. I don't want to get into politics here, but if you say it the Russian way, he comes into Twitter and shouts at you a lot. So, So I say Kiev, which is how the Ukrainians say it. The Russians will say it as Kiev.
Correct. Very nicely done. Look at Grant dropping the knowledge here. Wrinkle brain Grant.
Bitches.
International diplomacy and politics expert Grant. I love it. Very well done, my man.
Thanks, man. I learned from the best, which is you.
Well, I can only spread my influence so far. We got a pretty standard opener, though, from both players here, Grant, which is really nice. Which I hope means we're going to see a longer game, because I feel like both of these players really deserve some time in the spotlight. And the problem right now is that this game for Garitos, and basically the rest of this tournament for Garitos, is just a cash grab. He's already 0-4. It's going to be almost impossible for him to move on in the group. There'd have to be some statistical, I was going to say a bad word there, some statistical weirdness happening for him to move on from Group B. So really all Garitos, our Zerg player, is hoping for is to win a match, to get that $125, and to sort of pad his resume a little bit in this series. Whereas for HellraiseR, who is currently at 2-2, he still has a chance, man. And he's already played some pretty tough players, including Serral and Showtime. So he really does have a very real chance. With a 2-0 over DNS, he could definitely move forward in his group. So this is a big match for both players, but mostly for HellraiseR.
Yeah, to go back to the opening of this game, it was a pool first, but it was the economic version of a pool first here from Garitos. HellraiseR threw down a cybernetics core before it sort of cancels one another out. So neither player expecting to get much done here, although HellraiseR right now getting in with an adept to the middle line, finds one. Does look like he will probably get a second worker. Doesn't want to lose the adept. If he can get 3 workers though, and he does, this isn't bad.
Paid for itself at least, right?
Yeah.
And Void Ray's now on the way. HellraiseR clearly watched that last game and was like, this new long boy, I'm a big fan. So first Void Ray hopping out right now. Only one Stalker first. Cutting the Stalker early is so interesting for these Protoss players. They're not afraid anymore. Like, he got a good scout off and he knows he's not getting, some crazy 19 drone ling all in thing. So only one Stalker straight into Void Ray, and then Oracle, he's going for a lot of damage in the early game here.
Yeah, Garitos has managed to sneak his Overlord down into the southern position. And if it was to go in right now, it would see that the Oracle is coming. It doesn't look like Garitos is going to find that right timing. Has to move in very, very shortly, and that's not going to be the case. Behind this, he is getting +1. He's adding on more and more queens, only going up to 3. That's like, okay, and now a 4th. And he is going to get spores blindly, which I like to see. Did you see the stag? He must have, right? Yeah, he did.
You're under attack.
I really like Zerg players, especially. I really like Zerg in general. I like all the races, but Zerg's great because there's so much flexibility, right? And there's not ever like a proper right answer for what you're. Very rarely is there like a proper right answer for what to do. So especially with scouting, so many Zerg players will send one Overlord over, and then not scout any beyond that. Some will send 2. Some will send 3 and like dot them around the base. And then there's also additional choices you can make with when to move those Overlords in. We saw Garitos moving in at the 4.5 minute mark, which sure, go for it. You can move in at the 3.5 minute mark, the 4 minute mark, depending on what you think is going to give you the best opportunity to get a good scout off. And it really depends all on your play style. So Garitos waiting until a little bit later to get that. He's going to go for a Zergling counter push here, but he's not going to find a third base to pressure at all. So this isn't going to get too much done, as the wall for HellraiseR should be pretty solid, even with just one Stalker. And HellraiseR should be able to get across the map and maybe do some damage. We're going to do a quick pause here, Grant. Hope everything is all right for HellraiseR.
Yeah, we're back on camera, Creighton, just so you know. Oh, a quick go. We will be getting back into it. Just wait for Trados to do his trademark countdown, and we are back into it. Thank you, Trados. You're a very good referee.
It's always terrifying as a caster on delay if there's a pause, because I'm like, oh god, what if we said something 2 minutes ago and like the player checking stream right now and oh no! But luckily we're fine. HellraiseR had a cat on his keyboard. He has now defenestrated the cat and gonna continue pushing here. Glaive to depths out now for our Ukrainian Protoss player.
HellraiseR really committing to offense here, and I think that's a sign that he's feeling pretty comfortable in the matchup. Glaive Adepts after Void Ray 2 Oracles is a big commitment to damage. He really wants to keep the Oracles alive. He has actually already found 7 drones before the Glaive Adept even coming in. But Garitos has done a very good job of keeping him back for now. You can see finally all of those lings that we mentioned earlier have gone down. How many lings is that? 16 already going down for just 2 Adepts. Actually isn't that good here for Garitos. He's throwing away a lot of units. Does he have a rope thrower in here? No. I don't think he knows what's coming, and it's coming pretty soon and pretty hard, right?
Yeah, he has no idea, because look at this look at the Overlord placement for Garitos. Oh no, wait, there are no Overlords placed for Garitos. Look at the Ling run-bys that Garitos has done. Oh wait, he hasn't done any Ling run-bys. He's done no scouting, Grant. I don't even know if he knows that third base is down from HellraiseR yet. And HellraiseR bearing down. There is one key thing missing though from HellraiseR's build. Grant, can you tell me what single unit is going to make this Glaive to Depth push not as deadly as it might otherwise be?
Yeah, of course. Yes, the Warp Prism is missing. The Robo going down a little bit later here as the commitment to Stargate was a little bit more. But these Adepts are going to be able to trade pretty well into this amount of link. Oh my god, a huge Stasis Ward. This would end up saving a bunch of drones, oddly enough. Of course, they cannot be targeted as they are in the stasis. But now we have a move over towards the third, and we are going to see drones fall down. Not as many so far as it could have been. The stasis wards, though, all over. Every drone almost was stasis warded.
I love this so much, and just as the stasis wards expire, the Adepts are right here to take him down!
Oh.
Holy shit, I love this so much from HellraiseR.
So
what a wild build. I've never seen stasis ward used offensively like this before to lock those drones in place. So not only has he stopped a ton of mining time, he's also getting a ton of kills on those drones that simply can't escape. Now the problem is he's not continuing the pressure in multiple locations, and like we said earlier, there's no Warp Prism here to support this. My god, Grant, if he had brought a Warp Prism to keep bringing in round after round of Adept, this game would be OVER over.
Honestly, I still think it's in a really precarious situation right now for Garitos, because behind this, HellraiseR never stopped probing. He got up to nearly 70. He's getting Blink, he's getting +1, he's getting Immortals, he's getting on a ton of gateways, and I think a big free base push is in the future here. The Oracles have been incredible. There was 3 Oracles made. I don't believe any have gone down. The only thing that has died is the Adepts and 1 Probe. He's killed 14 drones, 44 Lings. It could have been, of course, like, you look at the drone count and go, 14, well, but the lost mining time. We're talking probably 500-600 worth of minerals minimum. That was just denied because of those stasis wards. Probably of the 35-40 drones at the time, only 8 to 10 were working, and that is mental because it lasts a bloody long time too. And now HellraiseR's army start to look a little bit spooky.
To give you some idea about that lost mining time, nice Oracle harassment there, by the way. To give you some idea about that lost mining time, guys, there was a 600 resource per minute advantage for Garitos for about 1 minute. And then HellraiseR hit, and for the next minute and a half, there was an 1,800 resource per minute advantage for HellraiseR. So like a 4-to-1 ratio of a shift between those two players, or a 4x ratio for those players. Crazy, crazy strong for HellraiseR. And now we're seeing the fruits. He's pushing right after that economic advantage hits. This is a gorgeous timing from HellraiseR. His +1 is finished, and this is a great timing.
Yeah, now there are a lot of Hydras. Banelings are on the field, of course. Centrifugal Hook's not yet done, but very, very close to being finished. Less than 10 seconds now. If Banelings can get those magic connections on the sentries, maybe, and they start off pretty strong, but the force field's so far so good. Hydra's getting picked off here. HellraiseR is up in supply. He has that magic unit, Creighton! And he's
finally
warping in.
has brought it to the party. And Grant, the sentries are so clutch there. Now, HellraiseR's going to back up, but I don't think he's going to go all the way back home. At least I don't suspect he will. He's had those sentries out for so long. He's going to go ahead and use them to force field out the Hydra so he doesn't get flanked. That was a really good engagement and kept himself very, very safe from any real danger. Another stasis ward going to go down here. Luckily, Garitos sees this one and leaves that one sacrificial drop. God, beautiful play from Garitos there.
Adept drop though coming in, and of course these Adepts do have glaives, so those resonating glaives meaning they attack faster, they attack harder. 3 more drones go down for nothing. The Oracle's still standing tall at the north side of the main base here at Garitos. And HellraiseR getting his +2 now. He has transitioned. He added a Robo Bay, and I imagine we will see Colossi production pretty soon here from our Protoss player. For now, just getting static defenses and a 4th. And it looks like Garitos has had enough and is going to move across the map. But I am very, very concerned right now because this is a tough nut to crack. There's so many force fields, so many stalkers. But the army, actually, of Garitos is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, you pointed out exactly what I was going to say. Look at that force field count right now. 5 sentries with almost full energy here. It's going to be very easy for Garitos to for HellraiseR to separate out Garitos' units and really prevent him from getting anything done at his 4th base. We see there's a drop going down at the 3rd of Garitos as well, just keeping him back home, preventing him from giving his full attention to this attack. This is such a dangerous position to attack for. Even those banelings in the 3rd base getting some decent shots off, but not enough to really swing the tide of battle. Garitos only 7 drones ahead right now, and the income barely going to go in his favor. I love the patrolling Void Ray to watch for drops. Really, HellraiseR is just firing on all cylinders now, and Colossi already 2 out, 2 more on the way. If that extended thermal lance finishes before Garitos hits here, he's going to be hard-pressed to get a lot of damage done. He is going to go for it, though. Some probes will die.
Okay, now this is starting to look a little bit interesting. My concern for Garitos is, sure, he has just killed 29 workers in the space of a minute, but his army is so Colossus weak. A couple of bios, do you manage to connect upon the very, very vulnerable Colossus here, as there is no prism, but these Colossus already have +2. The prism's going to go down. Okay, this is nice. Garitos starting to find what he needs. If he can keep this up, he's certainly still in the game. He has great upgrades. His Hydra Ling Bane seemed to be finding damage. He has decimated that probe count, taking over a 20 probe lead for an amount of time there. And looks like another run by coming down to this 6 o'clock base, Creighton. Could have committed that. Oh no, it's 3 cannons behind the mineral line. Jesus.
Yeah, it's plenty of cannons there for HellraiseR to save himself. And he's going to go for the attack. Man, these force fields really paying off. Look at all those banelings exploding fecklessly on the other side of those force fields. Goodness gracious. Really nice engagement there from HellraiseR, who's now 116 army supply to 77, not taking any losses in that initial engagement. And now look at the baneling number, Grant. I was going to say it's in the single digits. Not quite there yet, but there it is. 8 banelings left, and that's not going to be enough, even with perfect baneling hits. HellraiseR has too much DPS in this army, a really nice balance between gateway units and robo units. Yeah,
very old school army, Blink Stalker, Colossus, Sentry, and a couple of Immortals. Very Wings of Liberty-esque, or Heart of the Swarm, more accurately. Queen's starting to fall, baneling count, as you said, so low, and just only hitting Immortals and Stalkers, which take them so well. It looks like HellraiseR with a 70 supply lead may move his way to victory and take game 1 in this best of 3.
Now, Grant, I know you said A move his way to victory because he definitely could have done that, but I do want to point out HellraiseR was not A moving at all there. If you were watching his army control at the end, he was still blinking individual stalkers away, focus firing down banelings, retargeting Colossi so their beams would hit like maximum amounts of Queens and Hydralisks. He did a really nice job there from start to finish and did not rest on his laurels. He did not get lazy like I always do when I'm like, I'm going to win this one. F2, A, and just push across. Never happens. He was staying focused that entire time, and that really speaks to how strong of a player HellraiseR can be when he is in his groove.
Yeah.
None of those banelings hit. He had 8 banelings left, not a single one hit.
Yeah, phenomenal play there from HellraiseR. His army just so far ahead. Oh my god, I've already made a mistake after saying I wouldn't today. I forgot to change the title. HellraiseR versus Garitos. Okay, so we will be getting into the next map very shortly. We are just waiting for HellraiseR to get back into the lobby. Incredibly well played in game 1. A couple of small mistakes in terms of managing his economy. Did take a little bit of damage he didn't want to take. I'm just watching you pull weird faces as... Did you just like fall off your chair or something? Am I tripping?
No, I sneezed, but I'm such a pro that I muted my mic and nobody was going to notice until you called me out, Grant. Come on, man.
Sorry. Well, everyone was going to notice because they can see your face. And if you can sneeze without moving your face, I'll give you $1 million.
That'd be amazing. I've heard of Hollywood actors who train them. There are only like a few actors in Hollywood that can do it, where they've trained themselves to fire a gun without blinking. And I read a story about there are only 2 real actors in Hollywood who could ever do it. One was John Wayne, who could fire a gun without blinking. Or maybe it was Clint Eastwood. Anyway, one of those old Western guys. And then the guy who, I can't remember his name, but the guy who played the other Terminator in Terminator, like half of his acting training, he taught himself to fire a gun without blinking so that he would look just crazy while he was just mowing people down. Really cool skill. I always wished I could pick it up, but I'd have to go fire a bunch of guns, and I don't want to do that. So never going to happen. Game number 2 coming down, though. Pillars of Gold, LE.
Yeah.
Grant, can Garitos pull this back?
What can I say about that? I'm not going to give you anything else. I'm just going to go... I'm going to make you figure out the rest, because I can't tell you all my secrets, because I'm going to win DreamHack Winter.
Ooh, wow. Okay, bold. I'll put a tenner on you, buddy.
Yeah. For now, our player in the bottom left representing E-Punks. He is the French Zerg player. He needs to win 2 in a row to get his first series on the board. It's Garitos.
And his opponent in the bottom, or the top right-hand side, rather, our Ukrainian Protoss player, the King of Kyiv. It's HellraiseR.
Yeah, boy, he's taking it on.
I like it.
Wow.
I like it. You got to promise to call Clem the little corporal, though.
See, I like that, but Clem's really nice, and I'm not sure if you're aware, but Napoleon was kind of a prick.
Yeah, but, you know, I'm
Clem's
sure once Clem has won $1
really
million
nice.
from StarCraft, he'll be kind of a prick, too. Justifiably so.
Yeah, yeah. He'll nearly have 1/10 of what us casters make for a single season, so I suppose. No.
Oh, Grant, my Ferrari is in the shop today, and it's just been so disappointing. You know, I had to take my Lambo to work, and I just feel like such a peasant. I know, right? Come on.
God, I can't believe you made your chauffeur drive a Lambo.
Fun fact, if you buy a Rolls Royce, included in the cost of the Rolls Royce is driver training for your butler in England.
Oh my God!
Isn't that the most despicable capitalist bullshit you've ever heard of?
That's tragic. Now,
Right?
Very standard this game. We do see the hatch first, hatch gas pool here. And, of course, HellraiseR, seeing that, is going to go for his Nexus before Cybernetics core. But really, nothing ridiculous going on. These players on Pillars of Gold playing pretty standard. Now, Pillars of Gold are a pretty odd map. You can get across it pretty quick. Your third is very, very difficult to defend. Dragon Soul, in 2 minutes, the answer to your question is yes, Meatpacks did play here, and he lost. I'm sorry, my friend. But yeah, everything normal here. On Pillars of Gold.
Can we talk about how I love Pillars of Gold, Grant? This map is so cool, man. It's like, I was talking about it the other day with Steadfast, I think. Like a map like Ice and Chrome, which is full of these little narrow choke points and like ramps up and down all over the place. Very interesting topography. But Pillars of Gold is such a balanced map where so I keep saying like a whole lot, sorry. There are some big wide open spaces on the low ground that are really great for Zerg engagements. There are a couple really tight choke points around the third base, around the fourth base for players. It provides this really awesome diversity. So you can actually force your opponent to take a fight in like an area of the map that's advantageous for you, and not just, okay, there's a ramp here, I'll try and force him onto the ramp. But no, you got to think about, okay, there's a huge open plane outside that third base. If I can force a fight at that open plane, it'll be easier for me to get better positioning, and it's going to be advantageous there. So real big shout out to the map makers, especially for the diversity of maps in the pool, but also Pillars of Gold, a phenomenal place to play, especially a ZVP where that positioning is so different, each player wanting exactly the opposite thing.
Garitos is making a lot of lings right now, going up to more than 20, and that's of course going to be interesting. There is an adept out on the map which has managed to avoid them as well. There's no Baneling Nest, right? And this is a very complete wall. The battery is very late, I will give you that. And there's mainly rewalling here from HellraiseR, who needs to pull a couple of probes in order to prep for this. The Stalker's getting very low. The Stalker's going to go down.
Garitos did this yesterday in the only game that he won, actually. It's the 19 drone Ling all in. So you stop at 19 drones and you build nothing but Lings. Of course, the Void Ray going to help to clean this up, but the wall right now for HellraiseR is going to be the key. If he can keep this wall up and not let the Lings in, he's going to be just fine.
There's nothing, the left is going to be completely open here, and that's going to allow the Lings to slide on by. They're going to do that charge slide right into the natural now, and these probes are in for a world of pain. There are a few adepts here, but lots and lots of Lings coming back in. The main is now under siege. Workers will fall here. Garitos seems to have this 19 drone Ling all in, down to a fine art. And it's all up to HellraiseR now to keep himself safe.
I don't remember exactly. I think it was on this map as well where he's done it a couple times.
Yeah.
And look at this. He's pulling out of it. He realized he doesn't have enough lings the main right now to really do much damage. He's down to just 15, 16 lings. Maybe the wall has been rebuilt. There's some units in the air to stop him, even a Void Ray. So even if the Oracle runs out of energy, which it has, that Void Ray is still going to be there to try and drive these down. But Garitos has already added on 6 more lings back, or 6 more drones back home. He's adding on a few more as well. And while these lings will be an annoyance, HellraiseR is still going to be in a pretty strong position. This is a very difficult push to make it work, and Garitos has not succeeded in picking off any real crucial tech or getting a ton of probe kills. I mean, he's only killed 4 probes right now.
There's no
38
warp
lings.
gate. There's no warp gate. It's still not started.
Yeah, that's the only big win that he's gotten here. But honestly, you can survive without warp gate, man. You've got a Void Ray on the field already. I think HellraiseR's pretty fine here. And Garitos, I think, knows it. As we can see him adding on more drones, saturating up that third base, and building some queens as well. And HellraiseR realized the danger's over as well.
There will be no warp gate, I don't believe. I think we're seeing a little bit of Rotty style here from HellraiseR as he adds on his second Stargate. He is going to start warp gate. What a letdown. But we're going to be seeing a huge emphasis here on air units. We do have a couple of oracles at the other side of the map now. They're getting a lot of drone kills. Maybe a bit of miscontrol there, but a few more will go down. We've now seen a total of 8, and that's more damage than his opponent did with a 19 drone all in. We can see HellraiseR's up 8 workers. He's in a phenomenal position. More lings just throwing themselves at the wall here. One adept actually does pop out. Oh, super battery. That's Alpha. Saving its life here. Finally, the cybernetics core goes down. How many adepts does it take to kill a cyber core? Create an ulcer.
It's like how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? I don't think anybody knows the actual answer to that, Grant.
I don't even know what a Tootsie Pop is.
What? Grant! Oh, man. Give me your address, Grant. I'm going to send you a box of American sweets so that when I make references on stream, you know what it is. You know what a Tootsie Roll is, right?
I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is.
Oh, they're like a little, like soft brown, chocolatey, taffy kind of candy, but they're really soft. But a Tootsie Pop is a sucker that's like a fruit-flavored sucker with a Tootsie Roll in the middle of it. So there was an old advertising kit. You know what? It's not important, Grant. I'll tell you off.
It is important.
Kid on the third base, but HellraiseR's going to chase him away. Garitos knows he's in trouble, man. Going this aggressive leaves you so vulnerable back home, and I love that HellraiseR's going for oracles rather than Void Rays. Oracle DPS is just so crazy strong. You can take down a queen instantaneously with 4 Void Rays, or 4 oracles rather, and it's so scary. I think those oracles are going to be there before the Hydras are out, and Garitos is going to be in so much trouble. He's got 16 army supply on the map right now, Grant.
He's going up to 8 oracles.
That freaking monster.
I think HellraiseR may be having a little bit of fun. He knows he's in a good spot after holding that all in and taking minimal damage. And we're about to see, there was a phase in early Legacy of the Void beta where you would do this. You'd get like 6 to 8 oracles and you'd just snipe bases. And it was hilarious. If you target down a base for this amount, I think their damage to building was now. But look how quick that queen goes down. And now, Spore Crawler doesn't matter. Goodbye. Oh, actually, it does matter. He's going to go for the drones instead. The queen. Maybe a little bit of indecisiveness here, but so much damage. Going back to the Spore now, not letting it get away. Look at all these drones falling. Oracles are sick, man. He's still making them 2 at a time.
This is ridiculous. 19 drones have gone down, even more than that now. 21 drones. That's too short of a Michael Jordan's worth of drones this game already, Grant. Garitos setting up for a counterattack at the third base here, but HellraiseR's seen it, and HellraiseR should be responding to it right away. Oracle's back home to defend. Some Baneling's going to explode. They will take out those adepts, but who cares? HellraiseR's still got a bunch of oracles, and you know how much damage Banelings do to oracles, Grant?
If a Phoenix lifts them and they explode in the air, and there's an oracle on top of it, will it do damage?
Oh my god, I know the answer is no, like in my heart of hearts.
It should,
but my god, I hope that would be amazing. Can you imagine?
You should be able to lift like tanks, and they should be able to shoot in the air. For 2v2.
I remember there was an early mod someone had proposed in StarCraft where you could load Banelings into Spore Crawlers and just shoot them out of the Spore Crawler to blow up anything over the top. Wouldn't that be incredible?
That'd be so sick. Just wow, yeah. Fire them at clumps of mutants.
Oh yeah, it'd be awful, wouldn't it? It'd be awful. I love that, and you could never. Maybe there needs to be some sort of graphical indicator if there's a Baneling in a Spore Crawler, so you know just to
have
leave
like a green ball at the end, right?
I love that. I'd love that so much. The Oracle count up to 9 now. The Hydras will take them down, but look at these Oracles. They're mowing through the Hydralisks. They ain't afraid of nothing, Grant. Ain't afraid of nothing.
Ain't afraid of no ghost. More drones will fall down here. Another 5 goes down. HellraiseR having a whole bunch of fun this game. He's managed to keep his opponent to just 50 drones behind this +1 blink. Oh, jeez.
I'm gonna have that stuck in my head all day now, Grant.
Yep.
It's so good. It's such a good song. Did you know they wanted to hire for the Ghostbusters theme song? They wanted to hire Huey Lewis, and he denied them. So they hired somebody and basically said, "Write a song that sounds like Huey Lewis." Because he couldn't get him for this theme song.
Yeah, why not?
True facts.
I like your true facts. Blink nearly done. I mean, a positive here, I guess, for Garitos if we reach into our bag of pretending this game is 100% still close. Is that we do have a mainly Stalker-based army, and Hydra's very good against them. We're getting up closer towards that 20 mark. They have +0. As melee upgrades seem to be the key here. It's going to be real difficult, man. Real
difficult indeed, Grant.
I see you typing in Twitch chat.
There's no other way to go through it. I mean, Garitos needs some incredible Baneling shots here. Baneling speed is finished now, so he's got a chance at like surprising HellraiseR. But look at the third base for HellraiseR right now. Even if he loses everything over there, he's gonna be fine. There's an adept here. There's a photon cannon. And now he's moving into a real, actual push here with some units that aren't oracles. And as fun as the oracles have been, it's now time for these Talkers and Sentries to clean things up. He's going to snipe +2. Nicely done.
Yeah, I mean, the Hydra's nice. The Guardian Shield with this amount of Blink Stalkers. As long as the control here by our Ukrainian Protoss is good, he can take these trades. And I mean, I've had you like stay 6 lots.
Yo, dog. Yo, dog. 6 more drones going down, the third under duress. Now the fourth base for Garitos might finish, but I think it's a silly investment right now to buy that fourth base, because he won't be able to get to it anyway. Already HellraiseR in between that third and fourth, and these Hydras just not able to get up to a critical mass. The sacrifice of a few oracles early on helped to keep that Hydra number very low. He's going for lurkers, which is really cute because there's actually only one observer on the map, but it's going to be really easy with all those revelations to pick off the lurkers. A weird choice from Garitos, but I guess he's desperate. What else can you do?
So I'm going to let you in on a secret. In between the last 2 games, quite often, if you know a player quite well, you'll send them a message as a commentator. And I do know HellraiseR very well, as he picked up his 2-0